breaking news from the 7 Action Newsroom.
If you're just joining us this morning, we are following breaking news from Metro Airport. Two planes collide on the tarmac. 7 Action News reporter Nima Shafee is there live. Nima, what have you learned?
Malcolm, this happened just before 6 o'clock this morning. It was an American Airlines flight that was bound for Dallas with passengers on board. When it was leaving the gate, these are pictures that we actually got from people on board that plane, taken from their Twitter accounts after they gave us permission, and it shows this American Airlines jet that clipped the tail end of a Southwest Airlines plane. That Southwest Airlines plane, we've learned, was actually parked, not moving at all. The biggest question, as one Twitter follower that we actually got in touch with said, how does this even happen? It happened as they were actually leaving the gate to go and actually take off down the runway. But at this point, we do know that American Airlines has confirmed this collision of the two planes that did collide with one another. Again, it was the American Airlines jet that clipped the tail end of the Southwest Airlines jet that was actually parked. We know at this point that American Airlines confirms that that plane with all passengers on board, no injuries were reported. That is the best news to come out of all of this. That plane was actually brought back to the gate to be inspected to determine whether or not it's actually safe to be flown, because as you know, that distance between Detroit and Dallas isn't short at all. Malcolm, I want to come back live outside here, the North Terminal, and I actually just stepped inside the North Terminal. It's business as usual. You can hear the announcements overhead. It's quite busy in there with people trying to go through security. It's almost like it was they were unfazed. There's no announcements made about this American Airlines plane that actually clipped that Southwest Airlines plane, but we do know at this point that it did happen. The plane was brought back to the gate. The passengers remain on board at this point because, again, there were no injuries reported. It's just a matter of checking the plane out before they actually determine whether or not it's safe to fly. No doubt we'll continue to stay on top of the story. Look for updates not only here on air but also online at WXYZ.com. We're live this morning outside the North Terminal here at Metro Airport. I'm Nima Shafee, 7 Action News.
Thanks, Nima. And as you just heard, those passengers are still on the plane, the American Airlines plane, and we are joined right now by Tanya. She is one of the passengers who were supposed to be en route to Dallas, as I understand it. Tanya, good morning, and thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. Good morning. Yes, we were traveling from Detroit, visiting family back home to Dallas, and just sitting here waiting to, we were told that our plane needed to be de-iced and it would take 10 or 15 minutes. So we were sitting here and I guess we had taxied out away, and all of a sudden we just felt like a boom, 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 and the plane started to move a little bit, and I was like, oh my God, what is that? And so the passenger next to me was saying, oh no, they're just de-icing the plane. And I was thinking, no, that didn't feel right. And then a few minutes later, we heard that we were hit by another plane or clipped by another plane.
Now, were you the only person or one of the only people that realized that that was not the plane being de-iced? I would imagine it had to feel like a pretty significant bump.
It was. My son is sitting in front of me, and he said that didn't feel normal to him. And my daughter is sitting next to him, and then my baby girl is sitting next to me, and she's like, Mommy, that didn't feel right. So everyone around us, we didn't think that it felt right, but, you know, the logical thing, we saw the plane, the United flight next to us being de-iced. That was logical, but in my mind, I'm like, no, that wasn't right. It didn't feel right.
What is the general mood on the plane right now? How long have you guys been sitting there?
We've been here over an hour. Our flight was due to depart at 5:45. So it's 7:33 now, so we've been sitting all of this time. They've given us water. Most everybody is pretty upbeat. There are a few people that are a little upset, but mostly everybody is upbeat. We just want to get to our destination safely.
And what is the word that you guys are receiving as far as when you will actually leave out in the replacement plane that is being prepped for you?
Well, we were told that there was possibly going to be a replacement plane. We are now in the process of being taken back to the gate, so we really won't know what's going to happen until we get off the plane. We're hoping that it's just another flight that they put us all on. I really hope that we don't have to try to book our own flights, because that would be such a nightmare.
Yeah, I can imagine the thoughts that must be going through your mind right now as you're sitting on this plane waiting for further instructions. Have the pilots and the crew, have they been forthright with information, letting you guys know what's going on?
I don't have to say so, yes. I mean, of course, to us, it's not coming as fast as we would like it, but they've been very kind. And the pilot has shared information, I guess, as he's receiving it or as he wants to provide it to us. But he has not kept us out of the loop, I would say.
Yeah, definitely a tense situation, as I can imagine. And I want to thank you again, Tanya, for allowing us to share in this moment with you and your children. And hopefully you'll be on your way to Dallas very soon. Thank you again.